Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships, hosted by Miss Polly, and the pretty much the series, this new
Yes,
series,
yes,
is going
yes.
to be called Polly by
Yeah,
Nation. So, all right, Miss Polly. Now I'm going with the flow of things until like I get an understanding, but feel free to lead the way, and then I'll pick up. So, what's up, Miss
okay.
Polly? What's good?
Yes, so I want to tell you guys about a series that I'm going to be doing. And it's kind of going to be, kind of a shared experience that people may be interested in.
Hmm.
I'm going to be sharing pieces of this with, different YouTubers and things like that. But definitely want to let you guys know about it. It's going to be called Poly by Nations. And basically, what I am doing, possibly
Oh,
having another partner, uh, possibly having another partner, and things like that. So I have um, been approached by a gentleman, and he is actually from Afghanistan, and he has come to me and wants to talk to me in a more serious fashion, to be added to possibly my pod. And so I'm going to kind of take
hmm.
you guys through the process of me dating a gentleman from another country, and how that looks and what I do to kind of prep for this kind of relationship and what it looks like when it's poly and how poly looks somewhere else. Obviously, they practice poly there, but it's also a different kind of poly. So, dynamic. So I was gonna let you guys walk through that process with me and see how that goes, and just guys see how it's exciting and see how the walkthrough goes. So just to give you guys a little bit more teaser, right? So this gentleman is, we'll get more details to the different segments, but he's a younger gentleman. He has a good career. Um, he actually is going to get his PhD this August, and
Hmm.
he actually is looking for a woman who would like to have more than one husband, and he would like it to be a person who kind of cuts off. You after you tell him how many partners you're gonna have or whatnot, he'd make that decision if he would like to do that. So we've had conversations, things like that. I'll get a little deeper into it later. But yeah, so as a man looking for an actual polyandry woman, and he found me in a polyandry group. So this is going to be a process I want to share with you guys and show you what it looks like. And if you're interested in just seeing how to date international as women, um, or even just seeing how it is to date poly internationally, different kind of dynamics. And so I'm kind of opening up a window for you guys, and we can see if it fails or not, because I actually don't know. So if you guys are on the journey with me, because I don't know the outcome in this situation.
Okay.
I just have the factors, so you can kind of see how that is. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And giving M3 the opportunity to give me some questions. I know he's kind of red pillish. We'll ask him what he thinks.
I got my notes out. So, um, well, before I even get to the questions, um, well, the hard questions, let me get to like the soft ones first, so that way I can review, have an understanding. So basically, okay, you
Hmm.
met the man. He's from Afghanistan. Okay,
Yes.
he said that he's a young, Jovian type of man who is striving to get his PhD. I guess he's getting close to the process of getting it. Okay, and then you also said that So he went to like the group, the polyamory group, um, looking for a woman who pretty much is into more than one man. Did I miss? Did I get that part right?
Right. He's in
Uh,
a polyandry. He's in a polyandry group. So the group is meant for men looking for women who already have other male partners, and they do not want to have other female partners. Usually, they don't want any female partners.
Interesting. Okay. And then, all right. So then, my question is, right? Interesting fella. Okay, so I never really heard of a man, because usually men, when I guess they want to get into, well, I guess they will consider polygamy or something. I always get
Yep.
polyamory, polygamy, those things confused. So please feel free to correct me on the spot if I'm getting it wrong. But it,
Yeah.
I guess my definition or my version of polyamory lifestyle or the polygamous lifestyle is basically for men that benefits for them to find women who most likely 9 times out of 10 are attracted to other women, so they will be comfortable when the man is, having one wife or another wife and 3 more wives, or I guess girlfriends. But what really kind of got me was that you said he's looking for a woman who is already in multiple relationships with men, and he's not looking for a woman who's into another woman.
Right. So, yeah. Well, I will. I will say, yeah. Most in polygamy here in the Western world, usually find bisexual women. They try to find bisexual women. A lot of women say they're bisexual. Even though I'll be honest, I don't believe a lot of women are bisexual. I think they're open to bisexual experiences, but they're not bisexual. That's just my opinion. Not saying that the ones who are in polygamy. A lot of times when it's out, not in the West, those women are not bisexual. They do not desire each other sexually. They do not interact sexually most of the time. You don't see that in other countries where the wives are kissing on each other. They're just sister wives. They are attracted to men only in a sexual fashion. But they have partnerships with the women as platonic. Yeah. But this situation, yes, this is a group. There's a couple groups like this. But this particular group is males looking for women who either want to start a relationship with them and find another male partner, or they already have a male partner and they are going to be added to that. Yeah, they're purposefully looking for a relationship with more than one woman. I mean, more than one man in it. And they're not bisexual. They're not bisexual men. There are some in there, but most of the time they're not.
And that's the part that, okay. So what? So as a heterosexual man, and I understand he's not in the Western Hemisphere, so his way of thinking is totally different from ours. But the thing is that what do he get a kick out of having multiple men share with one woman?
Right. I will say, if he gets on here, if he decides to, I'll let him share that. But Andy, from what the understanding is, he says he feels that women need more attention than men, and he said that he feels like if there was more than one man in a relationship, that would just give the woman, what she needs supportive wise to be able to be great and share that greatness, from what I understand. He feels that he's okay with being in a relationship with that. But he didn't really say anything like crazy. It just sounded like he's basically saying he's okay with the idea of it, and he doesn't have a problem with it, and that's what he was looking for. So for now, that's how we started the conversation, because that is a good question. That is a really good question. So, like you said, different thinking, maybe the process. He said he doesn't see why women can't have more than one partner. Also, he's like, that's what he's brought up to me. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, he definitely sounds like a feminist for sure, a male version of it. Okay, so let's get to let's narrow down to the attention part, right? So it's interesting when a man believes that women um, needs more attention or there's not enough attention to go around. Meanwhile, in the Western Hemisphere, in the land of America, I'll say, um, attention is never really good enough. It's never enough for women. You can give them all the attention that they want, but the thing is, they'll never be satisfied with it. Or if you give them too much attention, then they feel like you're smothering them and now they need some space. I mean, go figure. But it sounds like sounds like a man, right, who probably is like very busy with his career. Or maybe it might be a man that might not be home a lot. Because for that type of thinking, it's like, well, and that's just my opinion. It seems like he's a guy like, that may not fully be present around the house, in the household if the relationship was going to be serious. So having someone to satisfy your needs or to occupy that time while it's away, I could say that it could also serve a benefit for another man. If you think about it. The reason why I said it could benefit for another man is because, let's say, because in people are kind of dirty in these relationships. Some men usually take pride out of being the Mr. Steal Your Girl, or participating in the infidelity with another man's wife for whatever reason. They get kicked out of it, and because it's like, well, the woman's stuck with her husband, but she's really choosing, outside of the marriage. That's how I kind of look at it. And in this case, it's like the husband's now giving that person permission, whereas maybe the guy probably would have struggled if he found like a beautiful woman, but was already in a serious committed relationship.
Right. I will tell you, I've said somewhere else, but I don't know where. But I am a strong believer in the fact that I know that the men that are a lot of men who are attracted to me, and is one of the things is that they feel like they're so busy that they can't give the attention that particular women need, and that is one of the reasons why they could consider doing polys, because if they're always gone from home or they're working extreme hours because they're really focused on their career, is that, I want my wife to, enjoy herself. I want someone to be able to go with her to the movies or blah, blah, blah. And if there's another gentleman there that I know, and I know who's there for her, and not just in the sexual aspect, I want to knock that out the park, because in the culture he's from, they don't play date. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get married. So this would be a more serious situation. So they're not saying, I just want my wife to have a boyfriend on the side. They're saying, I want someone who's committed just as much as me, but they can give my partner some time. And I can see that as a reason why a lot of gentlemen who are very successful would be okay with poly or consider it, especially if they really want a particular woman or they like a particular woman and they want to be with her. Absolutely, that's a benefit, because you know where she's at. If she's not with you, you know who she's with. And that person's not doing her dirty, and he's not going to treat her bad, and he's going to respect you. And these are benefits from this kind of poly life. So in that fashion, yeah, that is a benefit for some men to have. So I definitely will agree with you on that. And that's why I say it doesn't have to be a simp to do this. You don't have to be a beta to do this. There are men who are very strong men, but then in the same mind will say, I know my partner is in need of something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so my question is that, like, okay, let's just say, like, okay, you are all about that lifestyle, right? But you don't have any men in your rotation. Well, I won't say in your rotation, but you don't have any partners yet. and you're trying to build and develop. Now you find this person, and he's totally down to build his life with you. But my question is, you know, well, one, who decides, right, to choose like the second partner, the second, third, fourth, whoever? Do you make the decision of who do you want to
Yeah, who
be?
decides who the next partner is? It depends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it depends. Some women do
Okay.
decide that they want to make the decision because they feel like that's the person that they're engaging with, and they want to be the one who decides who that is. There are
Mm-hmm.
some people who decide to have both of you will make the decision together, and you interact with each other, because even if some men don't want to be they're not sexually attracted to this gentleman, you may interact with this man quite a bit. So especially if
Mm-hmm.
it's more serious, so you want to be able to have a good conversation with them. You want to be able to be like, hey, you want to be able to converse with them, maybe on the same mind, have maybe very similar values.
Mm-hmm.
Vetting a partner. You might be part of that process. To what degree, that's up to you and your partner. Like I said, that would have to be some discussion. For me, when I do a lot of it, I think, well, at least I hope my partners trust me enough that I want to find partners who I'm thinking about my partners when I'm looking for partners. So if they line up with what I think my other partners would enjoy, also as a partner or a friendship, I'm going to think that, like, oh, they're not going to want someone who's running the streets. They're not going to want someone who's disorganized. So I'm going to be like, okay, well, you're really disorganized, and that would bother my partner. You won't be a good fit for us. That's what I would do on my own. So if you trust your partner to be able to decipher that, you wouldn't really have to be involved in that bigger process. So it
Mm.
depends.
Okay. Okay. And hmm, I think you probably answered this, but I just want to make sure, because I didn't mention what will be the minimum standards. Like, what's the minimum requirements where you see that person and it's like you and your partner's like, okay, that's it, that's the one. Like, or let me make it more clear, because I think that was a little bit vague. Like, in other words, do the next partner have to have a career, or maybe a steady type of job, something that is kind of mild?
I think we're at this point. We also would like. I mean, people lose their jobs and coming to new things, and they change
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing, school wise and all that. You might have to hold them down. I think as long as, for me, if someone's progressing to whatever they want to do, I'm down for the ride. I'm just that kind of
Mm-hmm.
person, and I think other partners are too. As long as, like, we're not drowning, you're paying attention, we're good. So
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, financially, I would want someone at this point. Yeah, I don't want anyone who's careless or irresponsible financially. But that doesn't mean if you lost your job or you're changing careers, I'm not going to consider you. So, and then, like I said, for the instance, since it is international, what's really going to get the vibe going here is that this is different for me in the fact that this gentleman also is from a place where they don't date. You know what I'm saying? They don't date.
Mm-hmm.
Dating for them basically is like, you meet someone, you tell them what you're kind of interested in, or what you're looking for in a partner for long term, and they quickly make a decision on if they're going to marry you or not. It's not like a we're dating for 3-4 year situation. That's not
Mm-hmm.
what they do. So, I'm learning too some things about the culture and things like that. So that's what I'm going to kind of go into with the little series here. And like I said, it's just gonna be eventful. At least, hopefully, like, it all works out great and it's smooth. He will be coming here at the end of August, um,
Okay.
for school, because he's actually gonna go to school here for his PhD. So
Nice.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting.
Okay. So, mm, all right. Let me add a little bit more, right, from my last question. And you can only pick
Hmm.
one. Out of the two questions, you can only pick one. Performance in life choices or careers, or performances in the bedroom.
Oh man, that's a good one. I don't know. Probably life choices and careers. I know that sounds, I mean, you could do things to modify stuff in the bedroom.
Okay, okay.
It is what it is. I'm just saying.
But this is coming from okay. Well, this is like for a person who lacks even if you try to modify, there's no modifications of it. It just super lackluster in the bedroom. But he has his career and life choices on tap. Got you thinking, huh?
I feel like this real question number three is would I give a broke man with good D a chance, or would I give the man with bad D and with money a chance? I feel like that question is what you're really asking me. Can we just
I said
everybody just
life
try the
choices as
middle?
well too.
I guess I would like a
Wait, sorry again, I missed it. You like them broke? You say?
no. I feel like you're asking me if I would be with someone who's broke with good D, or a person who is rich with no sexual interaction. And I'll be honest, like I said, I'm going to stay with my answer. And the reason why is
Mm-hmm.
because there's platonic partners. Just platonic partners. So, I mean, if that's, I've seen people say they aged out, men, the men who are
Mm-hmm.
like 60 years old, talking about they can't do it no more sexually, they don't want to do it here and there. And they have poly partners who have younger partners and they have sex all the time, but they don't.
Oh.
Someone be
Mm.
in that mind, because I mean, sex is great and everything, but it's not everything. Just being
Okay,
honest.
okay.
For me,
Yeah.
not to say for everybody.
Okay, okay. So you prefer a man who's very responsible, can make life choices, and which that leads to other things. All right. Um, fair enough. I respect that. All right. Is there any more into like this story about this person? I know you said he's gonna
Yes, but I'm
become.
gonna hold on to it,
Oh,
to the
okay,
series.
okay.
I'm gonna hold on to it
All
because I do
right.
want to. Yeah, I do want to get more detailed into it. Kind of like just like I said about how the process will go.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to be safe out here, ladies. As I said, I'm gonna do some clips with some other people too, kind of revolving around international dating, things like that, because you want to be careful out here too when you're international dating or meeting people out of state. You have to know how to be safe as a woman out here. That's even if you're going to be poly into another poly situation. So we're going to talk about safety and traveling and things like that. So we're going to kind of end the little series,
Mm-hmm.
but I do want it to mainly focus on us meeting and getting to know how the process works when you're adding someone to a pod and what
Mm-hmm.
that looks like.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So then, all right. So then, my other question is that when he does come in August, to visit, do you have any plans to pretty much expand your journey into like a reality series? I know you mentioned like he'll come by or whatever, and if he's open, maybe he could participate like in some of these questionnaires. But have you ever thought about turn like maybe like like since it is the Poly Nations or Party by Nations, I mean, you could turn that to like a YouTube exclusive, you know?
It could. It could. It could. I wanted to start off slow. See Yeah, I definitely. That's why I said definitely want to move it slow, and see how
Mhm.
it goes. Like I said, this could be something that I'm thinking is gonna last all the way to 8 months, and it crash and burn at 6. So I definitely
Mm.
want to you guys see the process and see that
Mhm.
even if it fails or succeeds, that you see how the process is, and how it is for me. So I would like you guys to get a look at that. And I think it's a good candidate for the situation also because he's basically poly. If it was monogamous, be dating a monogamous person, I probably would not let you guys in on that because people go through up and downs really big when they transition, and
Mhm.
it's very. I mean, I guess that's good for TV, I suppose, but I
Mhm.
don't want to ever put anyone's emotional process, on display because I feel like that's a private thing to do. But
Right.
if someone's a poly and they're open to explaining what things are, I'm very open to that.
Okay. Hey,
So
fair enough. Yeah.
that's where we are.
All right. Well, Miss
So we're
Polly,
down.
I'll
We're
be
down
looking.
to see what happens.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to it. So I can't wait. Hmm. Wow. So you
Okay.
know, so for people who if you are tuning in right at the end, folks, um, on the time of recording this video, we're going to just do like just a quick recap, right, of everything that was said. Basically, Miss Polly met a man off the internet from Afghanistan in a polyamorous group. Okay, young gentleman trying to get his PhD. Now, PhD for what? We'll say that for another conversation. Okay, he's looking for women who's into other men. Well, no, who has already relationships with other men, and you know, no, he's not bisexual. And let's see, what else did we say? I just want to make sure we miss anything.
Yeah.
Um, he believes that, and his reason is that he believes that women pretty much like deserves to have more attention, or they have a lot of needs that needs to be met. So he's looking for the right, a man like that will look for the right candidate. Well, will want to look for the right candidate to make sure that he's protecting her needs, her wants, and not just just living off of them. So, but it doesn't matter if he has like uh, LDE, which
You
is
think?
like little bleep energy. It just as long as he's a responsible person that can really like just take care of things. Okay, and then what else? And yeah, and that's it. So for now, hopefully when he does come out like in August, we'll see like how things will work out. Maybe we might get like a reality show, but hey, it's all up to Miss Polly and other guys. So,
Absolutely, absolutely.
well, okay, Miss Polly. Thank you for sharing about your Polly tales, Polly by Nation, and I'm looking forward to like the next session. Uh,
Okay.
all right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Peace. Oh,
Bye.
and let me make sure I do y'all a favor and also cue the outro. So give me about a second because when it comes to these outros, man, it takes a while. All right. So stay tuned for another episode of Poly by Nation. Peace.
knowledge in relationships.